All right. Here we come. That's right. We are back. It is another episode of Heat Magnets, episode number 2. I am your host, the flamboyant one, Jason Crowe. Let's see, you can't see me, can you? There you go. Now you can see me, can't you? Hey, there I am. There I go. There I am. Hello, world. Another episode of Heat Magnets, episode number 2. We're going to be going over the Night of Champions predictions and all those things. So let me introduce you to my co-host. First, I am the flamboyant one, Jason Crowe, if you do not know. And then we have handsome Johnny Spade right there. There he is.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Smooth Johnny Spade in the house. Episode deuce. Let's do it.
That's right. We're ready to go. And then with us, we also have Rockstar Roni Jonah. There she is.
Here I am. Hello.
Hello. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Heat Magnets. We got some things to talk about tonight. Lots of news. Of course, we got the Night of Champions coming up at tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, that's the 27th.
Tomorrow is not Saturday.
Oh, it seems like it,
Is it? So it's Saturday. It's Saturday. At 1 p.m. because they're in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Are they doing a show for like they usually do with NXT the night before? Is that tomorrow night, maybe?
I don't know. I haven't seen. We can look that up here in just a little bit.
I didn't watch this past week. I do keep up, but I can't remember if they're doing one, before the pay-per-view or not.
Oh, they might be. I'll give it a double check as we get into this because we've got some things to talk about. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about the AEW news first before we go into some of our predictions, and of course, the Money in the Bank qualifiers are coming up. But we've got some people in our chat. There's Eric Montgomery, and looks like your mom, Roni, is watching. She
My mom?
is watching. That's right.
My mom?
Yeah, your mom. Your mom is watching.
Mom.
Okay, Eric says we have 3 pay-per-views this weekend. Oh yeah, because there's Double or Nothing. All right, at
you got the AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah,
hopefully be a good one. It's in Vegas where they started.
Yeah, that's kind of their first, so that should be really good. That's what put them on the map. Really, Cody and Dustin put them on the map with their first match during that. So I'm curious to see what they do with that one. And of course, yes, NXT does have the Battleground. That's what it is. Thank you, Eric, for letting us know. And
yeah,
NXT,
that sounds right.
Yeah, NXT was at one time my favorite brand that was going on TV until Vince came and took it over and just ruined it for a minute. But now it seems that like they're starting to get back on track and getting those storylines going. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. So AEW. So obviously AEW has been in the news mostly because of your favorite CM Punk. Apparently, I guess he was holding them hostage for a little while because obviously they're going to do the new Collision show.
Sounds like the deal. Yeah, I think it's Ace Steel's issue. They think they wanted him. He wanted him back. It sounds like, but they want him to. If he does come back, to stay remotely. They don't really want him, in house per se. I don't know the situation. I personally don't know Ace Steel. I know he's friends with Punk. I guess he wants his buddy there, and at the end of the day, if you got a job, you got a job. If it's better,
I would want my friends.
Yeah, if it's better for the morale, keep him away. Punk's getting paid a lot of money.
Well, and I guess, like you said, they came to the conclusion that Ace Steel's going to work from home with AEW. That makes no sense to me because obviously, like, wrestling is kind of an all hands on deck, kind of thing. So it's kind of strange to me. But I guess that's the power of CM Punk and being CM Punk's friend is like, I guess watch it on TV and tell us where we messed up. I guess I don't know. Seems like a strange situation. You all have a little bit of
choice, but
have a little history with CM Punk, so I guess it's probably is not surprising to anyone.
No, none of that surprises me. Other than wrestling from home, that seems like a interesting choice.
So Ace Steel is an on-road, like he's an agent, like he's CM Punk's agent, and apparently, I mean, he's
Oh.
smart about the business, apparently, but
See, I
don't
don't know. I never heard much about him when I was around. So
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't know anything about him. I was listening to Jim Cornette's show, and Cornette seems to have good things to say about him, at least in the sense of AEW, because he's like AEW doesn't have a lot of like smart minds. This is Cornette talking, to work with in the sense of like just how to do things the proper way. Like, so he seems to think Steel would be good for them.
I guess. I mean, you got Christopher Daniels knows his stuff, Dean Malenko, I can see. Like Pat Buck. Come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah. I was wondering how y'all felt about Pat
He's
because I
been
know he was
around forever. He's got to
been-
know a couple things.
Well, of course,
right?
he was in OVW and around the time because Roni, you were part of that faction with him.
I was
and
the
of course,
faction.
that he did go over and work with WWE for a while and then moved over to AEW. So that's the only thing I know about Pat Buck is what I just said right there. Like he was part of that faction.
Surely he's learned things over the last decade or so. I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
What else is he
I don't
doing?
know, man. And I might just be acting that way because I've been doing it longer. So when he came in, he was younger than me, and I'd never portrayed him as an agent. And then I know some people, especially even Tony Gunn, who's a very good friend of mine for people out there. He's former OVW heavyweight champion, and he's agent. He agented his match that was on, I want to say Rampage with Hobbs, and I don't know. Let's just say I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not going to knock the guy because I'm not going to speak on Tony's behalf. But I just told Tony, I said, he's let's just say he's lucky to have that position.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put somebody on blast this early. It's episode 2.
Right.
We've got to the end of the episode. We can come back to it.
And I've got no ill will towards Pat. I don't know him like that.
No, I don't either. I liked him just fine. I just feel like after all this time, he's got to know what he's doing. Like it's been a million years. Like I'm sure he's got.
I mean, yeah,
I think
he even special guest coached at the Performance Center once because he was training some guys and a couple of them got signed.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I don't know. Well,
he
maybe
seemed to know what he was doing back then. I'm sure he's doing fine.
Maybe AEW does need an Ace Steel then. I guess we'll find out. But it looks like
they don't need him.
Looks like the collision is on the way. So it might be aptly named now that they've called it Collision because who knows what kind of train wreck this is going to be. Because if CM Punk decides he wants to take his ball and go home again, that's what he's going to do. Like nothing's going to stop him from doing it. So
I think if you're bound by a contract,
what a fun train wreck to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, especially in contracts with a company that size. Like, obviously, are much more difficult to get around as opposed to like working on independent film or something like that. But Punk has just never really cared. I guess he doesn't care to pay fines or whatever it is he has to do. I guess.
I don't even know if they fined him. I guess maybe I heard something when he got in that backstage scuffle. I want to say maybe they fined him a little bit, but I mean you're talking about the top of the, heap as far as entertainment and what they're paying these guys. So I mean it really was a slap on the wrist, But I'm not going to pay somebody that much money to sit on their ass.
No. So. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It should be it should be an interesting time. I'm curious, because there's going to be some good talent on there, and apparently a lot of the talent that they're pulling over to Collision is all like CM Punk, or a lot of CM Punk's choice. Like there's certain people he wanted over on his show to work with, I guess. So to give him the good old rub, I guess.
Yeah,
I think it's going to work out.
I hope so. I mean, the more wrestling we have, the better. So we'll see.
They're building a show around him, and with this big Wembley show coming up, it's just going to be huge. You're starting to see superstars who have been sitting on their ass kind of perking up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, we got a big show. It's time to get my A game. Let me talk to Tony Khan, get back on TV. And one of the people I'm talking about is Miro, which I think he should have been on from the get go. But a lot of these guys are, Andre, people like that.
Yeah, and Miro is a Rusev for anybody who doesn't watch AEW. That's your everybody's favorite Rusev Day. So, and I really enjoyed what he was doing before he left. I did too.
So I did as well.
I'm curious to see. I mean, I think that would be a good feud, Miro and Punk, especially if Miro is still doing the kind of religious zealot kind of thing that he was doing. I think that could play well with Punk's kind of.
All of that sounds promising, honestly.
Yeah, I'd like to see him in Punk for sure. I think they're going to go with Samoa Joe, but.
Well, Punk, that was apparently somebody that he wanted for sure. And Samoa Joe is one of my favorites, 100%. So I am not upset about seeing Samoa Joe in the ring.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll see. It should be fun. It's wrestling, so
it sounds like it's going to be fun.
At least we're getting more wrestling, and I think that is always a positive thing. And then, of course, so after the pay-per-view Night of Champions, they're going to start the Money in the Bank qualifiers on Raw. They start on Raw, and it's going to be men and women Money in the Bank qualifiers. So
I hope so.
Does anybody have any idea, like, who do we think could be the next person to carry the Money in the Bank and have at least a run at the championship? I don't know about it's hard to get a title these days because Roman's hold them all. So
he just likes to hold them all.
I don't know. What if Sammy and Kevin lose? Can they give it to Sammy for another shot?
Can they not lose?
Cody Rhodes, maybe, so he can actually cash it in on Roman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be a good story. I mean, and maybe that's where they go with it. But it seems like anytime there's something that maybe that would be helpful to Cody, they go a different route because they keep wanting him to be the guy that has to fight from underneath and go through all these.
Doing great at that.
Yeah, go through all these obstacles, and obviously just recently Brock smashed his arm with the keg and then broke it. So now at Night of Champions, obviously he's going to show up and he's probably going a cast. I don't know what it's going to be, but something's got to indicate that he has a broken arm. So if he loses, he doesn't look bad, but if he wins, he looks,
Superman.
He wins with a broken arm against Brock Lesnar. Come on, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. I don't think he should win with a broken arm against Brock. But,
No, so he's better than everybody else in the whole roster with a broken arm? No.
Yeah, Jonathan asked, we'll get back to this, but Jonathan, that's a good question. Jonathan asks, and Jonathan has his own wrestling podcast. He asks, do we think CM Punk will ever sign another major contract again? I think anything is possible.
Anything is possible if you can wrestle from home.
And the money they can make.
I
don't know if they don't need him. I don't think they.
But 10 years from now,
I think if they do anything with Punk, there'll be a lot of money involved, and it's only because they know they're going to make some money.
Yeah, you never say never in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But how long is this contract he has with AEW?
I'm not sure. I don't think his contracts. I want to say that he was doing like a year-to-year kind of thing.
Okay, I don't know the situation behind that. That would be interesting because he's my age. He might be able to come back for a couple of years with WWE. I don't know, just for a last nostalgia run. But I don't know how well he is going to be welcomed. But Triple H is open to what's best for business.
Right. And I think the best for business and the money. WWE likes to do those legends contracts. So bring him in, working part time.
They love money.
Yeah, have a few things, do a few things with him. I see him. I see that happening sometime.
Well, if he sells out Wembley, I mean,
yeah,
and main events that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think they need him for Wembley. I think that's that, making it work for Collision because he's going to draw, numbers. So and they need all the help they can get to draw. They're doing well. That's no disrespect, but you don't want to lose a name and then lose some sales. So I think that all the star power they can get is what they're going to want to do.
That's a controversial one for sure.
Personally, but back to the Money in the Bank qualifiers, like who do we got? Who do we think's gonna? We can start with the women. Like,
that's the important thing.
Who's going to be the standout?
Oh gosh,
like it's
somebody that could give somebody can give them a run. Might be a Zoe Stark.
That's kind of who I'm thinking. I'm thinking they might just right out of the gate just take one of these new talents that a lot of people don't know of, and I think Zoe has all the skills to do it. So,
I could see from what she did with Bianca, them doing something. Io Sky coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think Io's she's definitely going to be one of the final contenders. I do believe. And as popular as she was in Puerto Rico, like, that's
right.
You might have seen that and said, "Hey, let's see what she can do."
I would like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. That would shock me by any means.
That would be my number one hope.
But I do. I think it will be somebody new. I hope.
It possibly. I mean, they could do a swerve, and Charlotte could come back. You never know.
It's true. It's true.
And
I think they need to do
and not when. Will you shut up?
Yeah,
shut your mouth.
It's not a popular decision amongst the peeps.
I mean, she is like the best of the best, but Rhea Ripley, come on, is the biggest star.
Yeah, let's push somebody else right now. She's got enough accolades. She's already a star. It's time to build a new star.
Yeah.
I mean, but they've got to work at taking it away from her. Can't just come get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see Rhea losing it anytime. So I think if anything happens, that maybe they'll go after Bianca if Bianca holds it at Night of Champions, which we'll talk about.
She's got a streak. I don't see that happening either, though.
See, I don't either. I'm, and of course, when you get Money in the Bank, you can hold on to that for a long time, so you can cash it in at WrestleMania. So nothing says that won't happen.
That would be exciting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like a Zoe Starks, but Io Sky, somebody like that. Now, see, I personally think that you brought up Charlotte, and I think that Charlotte Flair is the best all-time female wrestler that has ever stepped in the ring. Personally,
no question.
She has all the accolades, all the ability, and stepping out of the shadow of Ric Flair and becoming her own, and becoming, to me, the best. And that has nothing to do with her being a Flair. That's just she's just the best. That's my thoughts. I don't know what your thoughts are, Spade.
I think she's made her way to the Mount Rushmore, especially in the modern era or in WWE period, just over the past 10 years. Yeah,
I don't think there's any way you can argue that she's not at the very least top 5.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah, but I'm like you. I want to see fresh, faces and see what happens there.
Yeah,
so we'll see. There's a lot of good talent, and they really need to build on the women's single wrestling and storyline because there's really nothing.
Yeah, and it could be
other
any
than
of
Rhea.
them. Any single one of them could be it. They're all so good.
Yeah. I think whoever they pick, it's probably going to be the right choice, or at least I don't think there's going to be a bad choice in the bunch. At least I can't think of one. Now, they can surprise us. They do that sometimes.
They can surprise us with a bad choice. They won't.
So we'll see. I don't know. And so the men's, who do you think is the next? Could be the next big star in for the men? Do they push Austin Theory again, or
no?
No, I don't think so either.
No. He's not grabbing the ball.
He's really
John
not.
Cena even did an interview about him. Said he's just
Oh,
not.
that Cena secretly buried him or something like that.
No, Cena actually talked about him. Said he even had a personal talk with him. This was Cena speaking directly, and he mentioned how, he even told him before the match. He goes, I can do so much putting you over, but if the crowd's not resonating with you, and me personally, I just don't see what you're doing is authentic or genuine,
Right.
and it's not resonating with the crowd.
You're
So
not feeling it.
he needs to find a way to make the crowd believe, and no one's just getting behind it because it's not believable.
He's not doing anything to connect.
Correct.
Yeah, and he really had. Well, and Cena even said that in the ring when he was cutting promos on him that you can win, you can beat me, and whatever, but it's what you do after that. And he really hasn't done anything. Now, is that his fault, or is that
Yes.
is that story? Did they not have? Do they
No,
not?
I
Do they
think
not know what to do with him either? Or
it's his fault because I've been given shitty storylines and I've been given great storylines, but I've turned shit into gold because I said I'm going to make this work, and
that's what you're supposed to do. That's
yes.
the key. Yeah.
Remember LA Knight the other month? He wasn't supposed to shine like that, but he sure did in
LA
that one
Knight,
spot. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, and that was like Josh was saying, was like he took something that he was just supposed to be a jobber, like he was just in there to be fed to Bray Wyatt,
and then
he got over, and people started to like him.
He took it. He did it.
They need to quit. They need to do something with him. It's driving me insane.
They do.
He's right there, killing it, and you're just. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's somebody I wouldn't mind seeing do well in this Money in the Bank tournament. I don't think they're going to give him the shot, but he'd be good at it.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think he'd be good at it. I think he
That'd be great, yeah.
He could carry that case for a long time and sell it. And
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it at all. Like he's one of my top picks. Like because I don't think it'd be Theory. He's got all the talent.
It might be. It probably will be, but that's not exciting.
Yeah, I just I don't know.
They're not giving it to Theory 2 years in a row after last year having to lose it, and he didn't even do anything with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
But like you said,
to drop the ball.
You create a good storyline though when you said maybe Cody or maybe Sami Zayn. These are two guys that obviously were fighting Roman for the titles, and the crowd was behind them. I mean, they were over huge at the time. So, or even Kevin Owens. None of those names would surprise me either. And I think the audience, all the fans would be behind it. I think.
I like that tag team so much, though.
Yeah, they were never meant. I don't think.
I know, but it's so fun.
That long. I guess we can go into the Night of the Champions predictions since we're talking about this specifically. Do you think that Sami and Kevin retain against Roman and Solo, or?
Oh boy, yeah.
You do? You think so?
Although it would be hilarious if Roman Reigns had every title. Might as well beat Rhea Ripley while you're at it too. Just carry them all. Fuck it.
Yeah. See, I think that's personally, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to
probably
to win the titles.
You think so?
I could just because it will piss people off so much.
I'm gonna bet on it if we are doing bets again.
You like
unless I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, so I could see him winning it, but I also can't because then you've got he's supposed to take a hiatus and he's the champ anyway, so he's not going to be on TV much. So you don't want two titles that can't be defended, on a regular basis because one guy's contractually obligated to not work as much.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think if they give it to, and this is kind of why I think they're going to do it. So I think they're going to give it to Solo and Roman. Plus, they've been kind of pushing this whole "is Roman afraid of Solo" kind of thing. Obviously, they kind of bumped into each other recently on SmackDown, and Roman looked a little scared, and Solo kind of gave him a look like, "Why are you bumping into me?" so they're kind of pulling that storyline a little bit for some dissension, but I think they're going to win. Then I think that's going to set up like the Usos versus Solo.
So we got two. You and Ronnie think they're going to win.
I just think it's
I think so because I think they're going to build the Usos versus them to SummerSlam.
So I disagree. We'll see. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I want to be wrong. Like,
where do you think the story's going to go?
I don't know yet, but I think this is going to cause dissension in the group. But it's just me, and I personally think that Sammy and Kevin retain.
I would like that because I like them as a team, but it would be too hilarious for Roman Reigns to have all of the titles.
Oh yeah, I think so
It's
too.
too absurd.
And that's what this show's all about. Everybody's view and take, and it's just what I personally think. But
so if Sammy and Kevin retain, so what happens then? Where does the story go? Like for Sammy and Kevin and for Roman and Solo?
I think it depends on who's up and coming, who they're going to work next. That angle is going to be based totally on what the creative decides. But I don't think it means as much. I think right now the storyline is in the bloodline itself. So I don't know if Sammy gets his revenge right here on Roman a little bit. Now he's still the champ. They still got problems within the bloodline. Sammy and Kevin can move on and do their own thing, but still they're always there lurking if they need to bring them into the storyline some more.
Well, and I definitely see with the stuff that's been going on with the Usos that the Usos coming in to help Roman and Solo accidentally costing them a win. I can see that happening too. And then so either way, I think there's going to be a feud between the whole bloodline, and it's going to accumulate to SummerSlam, I believe.
As there should be. Let's just get it all out, get it over with.
Yeah, it's getting to about that time. Like it's still been good.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
It's getting to that time to let's move on
and
see what happens. So
yeah. I mean, I like it, so I hate to see it go, but it's already starting to make a break. So if they're going to break it, let's not drag it out. Let's get Solo on his own career here, his own path, and the Usos just doing what the Usos have always done, even before.
Right. Yeah, kind of. And we'll see how it goes. So we can talk a little bit more about some of our Night of Champions predictions. We'll start off with Ronnie's favorite. Of course, it's Rhea Ripley versus Natalia.
Yeah, she's not losing
for the championship.
Next.
There's no way she's losing. Not only is she not losing, I think she just makes short work of Natty just to show this is the new way we're going. Like Natty kind of represents the old school. I think so. I mean, I don't think they're going to make Natty look bad.
I hope not, because she's really good.
But I think
she deserves to have a really good match.
I think they're going to make a statement with her. I think that
probably that's all they do with her.
Yeah, so
which
I think
is so dumb because she's so good.
If Rhea moves through, somebody that is, a legend that is Natty now. Yeah. I think that kind of solidifies that she's the true champion in the next.
She's a bad bitch, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be an emphatic finish, clean finish. I think Natty will still, out of respect, for as long as she's been doing it. I don't think it'll be not even close to a squash. Not even something where it's just domination by Rhea. Natty will get hers in. It'll be a respect thing. Maybe even a Natty saying, this girl is the real deal, kind of a pass the torch, because a lot of the ladies look up to her in the locker room.
Yeah. Well, and of course, that's what Charlotte did after she lost. It was,
sure.
Very much the, putting her over that good job and she deserves it and all that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Me personally, I just feel like there's going to be a statement made, and it might be at Natty's expense. So
both can happen.
We'll see. We'll see. Then you have. I'll just go down the list that I wrote here. Then you have, of course, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
Come on, Becky.
And I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do here because
I have no idea.
they could do anything here, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And
Did you see Monday Night Raw?
Yeah.
That got hot.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the best I've ever seen Trish. I think
by far,
like whatever
she's
Trish,
got so much to work with now.
Yeah, Trish being like the heel and the way she's delivering stuff, and then Becky delivering the stuff, and then the Wolf. I mean, yeah, that was.
Oh man.
I wonder if she knew she was going to do that, and if not,
I thought the same
Trish
thing.
off.
Yeah,
surely they talked about it.
I would hope so, but I mean,
I bet they did.
She looked pretty freaking heated.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, of course, but I bet they talked about it.
Yeah, because Ronnie and I were watching it, and we both popped for it pretty big. So
damn, that really got me into this match, man. I'll tell you what.
Same. Yeah, I think that sold me the match more than anything that they've done building up to it. That whole promo, and then they did the whole no touch thing, which you don't have to because that gets old with the contract signings because that's what's going to happen. They're going to fight, but they sold it without ever even throwing hands, and it was way better than any time I've ever seen them just like flip over a table and jump on at each other. And,
that was exciting.
Probably the best contract signing I've seen just because of the promos they cut.
Man, that was good.
Yeah,
that got me real invested.
Yeah, but predictions. Who do you guys think are gonna pull it off? It could go either way. Maybe there's going to be a surprise with Lita. I don't know.
Some kind of surprise.
That would be my go-to if they want to prolong this.
Which they do. It's too fun.
Does Lita come out and cost Becky
something? I don't know. Somebody.
I know it's in Saudi Arabia, or do they? Does she do something to get disqualified and just beat the hell out of Becky? Then later on, Becky goes to get a revenge. Then Lita comes out, and then they keep it going even longer.
Yeah, that would be great.
So many possibilities here. I don't see them ending this flat right now.
No, I don't want them to. I hope they don't.
And I don't think there's any need. I think if they were thinking about it, I think that last promo on Raw
they're
probably
rethinking
put
it
an end to that, to where they're like, oh, well, maybe we can get a little bit more out of it, because that end, the Wolf and all that, like that was
hot, man.
Perfect.
Yeah,
she flipped that table right on her, man. And it didn't look like it was a normal flip. They were like, man, fuck you.
Yeah, it definitely had some.
That was beautiful.
Her flipping the table did seem much more organic than it ever has.
Correct.
Before, for sure. So I don't know. I don't know if I have a pick. I kind of want to go with Trish on this, though. I kind of
just because you want to keep it going.
Yeah, and I don't know what Trish's contract is like or anything like that, but she's been good at this. Doing the heel thing, and
it's been great.
And everything she's been saying and how she's delivering is fresh. So I don't know. I kind of would like to see Trish pull this one off just so we can get a little bit more.
I think it makes sense to get Trish over somehow.
Yeah.
To not direct clean, it would just bury your top talent.
Oh no, it can't be.
But at the same time, I think for storyline purposes, it's hot right now. And you don't after Monday, you can't end it tomorrow.
No, definitely not.
No, and so our friend Brandon who's in chat, he asks, with all these legends coming back, like Trish Stratus and Lita, and doing all these runs that they're doing, he asks, what does that mean for WWE, and what does it mean about the current roster? I just think they're trying to sell tickets. I think they're trying to get as many people in as. I don't think it says anything about the roster. I think if anything, it says let's give these new kids a run.
If you're putting some of these people who. How would everybody feel if LeBron went against Michael Jordan? Or you're bringing in some of the best to elevate these people and make them look like they're, or not even look like that they are on the same level as the old stars that everybody knows and has heard about. You're crossing generations, and I think it's great because, they're still decent enough age where they can work. I mean, Trish looks fantastic.
Yeah, Trish looks great, yeah.
I mean, they've been doing this, like Edge has been here for a while, like they've had the older generation here, always.
I think I like it. I mean, because one being somebody that has been watching it for that long, seeing any of the older talent come back, like I get excited about.
Like
but
Edge and Trish.
But I'm excited about the new matchups.
I mean, there's not a lot of negatives to it.
No.
It's just positive. The people love it. The nostalgia factor.
Get your nostalgia.
Your dads and your moms are telling the kids, that's the people watching. I told you about this guy. And then,
That's who got me into it.
Yeah, it's just great for business. There's not a lot of negatives to that situation. And these people are pros, and they've been in the business. It's not like bringing in a star who's never worked before.
Right. Yeah.
From the outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they can keep their Goldberg. He can stay home at this point. I'm over Goldberg, but I've never been a big Goldberg fan anyway.
He's already been like a legend that's come back and gone. Like he's good.
Yeah, and he's just never really been that good. So,
but he was a star. So,
but what he lacked in talent in the ring, he made up for, and just like
he was an attraction.
Just being an attraction. Yeah. So but I'm pretty much over any kind of Goldberg coming back. But other than that, I'm probably pretty good about who older veterans coming back. So I don't know, but then we'll just go down. We'll just keep with the women's wrestling, because then you've got Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Bianca.
Do they take it off of Bianca now, or do they wait? So. I think they wait until Mania, because might as well have her hold it up until that point, because she's had it so long anyway. So why not?
But then
I don't think she's dropping the title in Saudi Arabia.
She is.
No, I don't think so. Not for Night of Champions. SummerSlam, and you think, or do you think WrestleMania, or what do you think?
I think WrestleMania.
She says WrestleMania. I think they could at SummerSlam with the right person and the right storyline. And based on someone who comes in that they put you up against, and if that storyline gets hot enough and the person that she's going against gets hot enough, things could change.
Oh, that's true.
True.
But this storyline, this angle, it's not hot enough to give it to Asuka at this moment.
No,
I don't think so either. But does something happen? Because Asuka's already lost, to Bianca at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Does she lose again clean, or do they start? Do they bring somebody else out and something happen? Is there going to be some new storyline, a new character,
something new? Yeah,
that's a good possibility. And you know what, Asuka, if she does lose to her, it's not a terrible thing. Asuka's a hell of a competitor.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's a star.
Yeah.
But you can't eat too many losses. I know WWE is not as important as AEW has the win-loss record and how they actually quote unquote matter. And I always thought wins and losses mattered myself in a certain sense, because like when Bray just kept losing and losing and losing, then it didn't matter to me who he's fighting, because I was like, oh, he's just going to lose. That's where it matters now.
Yeah.
Because you've got to look strong somewhere.
Yeah. I think that was all Vince.
Oh yeah, and there's rumors that he might be coming back, but that's kind of why he's somebody who I really think wins and losses mattered, because he was just getting buried in losses. And so like Asuka, I think she could take another one. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but how long do you do that until Asuka is no longer considered a contender?
Yeah, I don't think they should do that again.
No, it didn't go well for Bray, at least for me. So, is Asuka running that risk?
Maybe.
I don't think it's not going to hurt her long term. But I mean, right now, I don't know. And there's a possibility. I did hear a story that she was thinking about leaving this after WrestleMania.
Oh.
So I don't know the situation.
I think just like Bray, she's also an attraction. Like if Bray comes back, like people are going to be excited to see his show, and they're not going to care if he, that he lost all those times. And when she comes back again later, they're going to be dazzled and excited to see her again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Brandon asked the same question: when does Bray come back? And what?
I don't know. Right now, they need to give him.
What do they do with him?
His last run was so lackluster.
Yeah, it really was. And I know a lot of people like, the Mountain Dew match, which the sponsorship is crazy, but I kind of liked at least the lighting aspects of it and the stuff they were doing with it. It was a bit gimmicky, obviously, with the sponsorship, but
that was nuts.
It wasn't that bad.
No, I kind of liked the, Bray made it work with the, the lighting, the black light and stuff. What is a good storyline for him to pop in on, though? Like, does he come back and go right after Roman? Is that the guy that does it?
But
I don't think so.
Win.
Oh, no.
So no, not Roman. Somebody that he might win.
Maybe a Gunther. I'm sorry.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Or
that'd be fun. React to Bray.
Yeah, Gunther and Bray would not be bad because
that would be really fun.
It would be a good storyline, but do they,
Yeah, because Gunther definitely has that traditional, like, I'm a traditional wrestler, and we wrestle, we fight. What are these gimmicks and this scary stuff? Like, I could see that definitely being a good.
If they want to put him over, I mean, you've got Austin Theory.
True. I don't know if Theory. I'm with everybody else. I just think Theory's just missing something now. What it is,
could help him, though. That could. The way he reacts to it, the way.
Well, I think it wouldn't take away from Bray Wyatt, as he would be able to shine and doesn't have somebody that's necessarily going to outshine him.
Right. Yeah.
No one's going to cheer for Theory.
I think that would help Theory because however he reacts to Bray's situation might endear him to people.
Yeah.
Like if he puts on a really good.
I really like the Gunther idea. Like I
love that. That's a fun idea.
I wouldn't hate that at all. That would be.
That would sell tickets.
Yeah, I think that's the best idea I think I've heard for him to come back. I think
watching him try to react to Bray's shenanigans would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's just such a contrast. It'd be beautiful.
That contrast is so huge. Well, speaking of Gunther, so he's fighting Mustafa Ali for the IC title, and I don't think we see Gunther losing.
He's gonna bury the shit out of him.
Yeah. Do you think so? Like, I think Ali definitely is going to put up a fight.
He is. I mean, he's from the vicinity.
Yeah, and Ali is a very good wrestler. So, like, that contrast of his style versus Gunther makes for a pretty interesting match, I think.
I mean, did you see what Brock Lesnar did to him on Raw?
Yeah.
During the promo, he walks past him. He goes, "Get a life, kid."
Yeah.
And walks. And I thought, well, shit, he's not winning.
But was that something? Are they going to start pushing him? So, like, he got no respect there, and
it's motivating.
Yeah, maybe he does put on a really good match versus.
There's something that's going to come of that.
Yes,
that's not the last time
they didn't do that Brock thing for no reason.
Correct. There's a reason behind that, and it might be not tomorrow. It could be a week from now, 2 weeks from now, but that's going to come back up, and it's going to come back up from Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I say, he's a great talent. I think he's deserving of a good run, especially when he was cutting promos back. Like, I think we talked about this last episode where he, I think kind of during COVID, he was cutting promos at home, but on the streets, and talk about how he was a cop before and all these things, and they were really good. And he can back it up in the ring. Like, he's no joke in the ring too. So
he's very athletic, good worker.
Seeing him be somebody that could be like a Ray, like a little guy going against these big guys that give him no respect, it could be a thing, and that's always interesting to watch, I think. So, so there's a rumor that with the Gunther match that Drew McIntyre might show up. They might start that a feud between those two.
That's what I want to see.
He's going through some issues, and I hope I wish
Drew.
I want to say his brother-in-law, or was it sister-in-law? I want to say brother-in-law just passed away.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
So I don't know it was this past week.
Oh no.
So first of all, wishing him well for anybody that his friends or knows him, and just them in general. I just right now, I'm sure his family needs him. I don't know if he'll be there this weekend, but hopefully he gets everything back together and does what he needs to do with his family, and he's able to make a comeback. And if it's tomorrow, great. I mean, I love Drew.
Yeah. Oh, I think Drew's great. I think he's definitely one of those people that had proved that you can get fired, but as long as you go and rebuild yourself and put the work in, you can come back and you can be champ. Now he unfortunately became champ during the time that there was no audience because it was COVID. So he was the champ in studio, which it would be cool for him to get that run and get the audience, like the whole thing, because he wanted it at WrestleMania. That and WrestleMania with no audience.
I don't think it'll be with Roman. I think if it happens, it'll be for the new title.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he deserves it. I think he deserves a good run. I know there's been some contract issues. They were having trouble coming to terms with money, and he's been beat up. He's been hurt for a lot of the time. Apparently, he worked hurt, which they all work hurt, but I guess he was working a little bit more hurt during that WrestleMania match with Gunther and Sheamus, and that was a hell of a match.
So good too.
Especially, and that's who I like to watch Gunther wrestle anyways, is those big guys that
shit out of you people.
Those are some battles.
Yeah.
I've been hit hard by a lot of big dudes, and I'm not a small guy. God, I'll tell you, man.
Yeah,
it's my ass kicked, and it hurts the next day.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you they were sore the next day.
Shit.
But so I wouldn't mind. I didn't know there's some issues going on, but him coming back and starting a feud with Gunther,
that would be great.
Would be great. So I'm into that. But if it happens on Raw instead or something, I would like to see him come back though. I think he deserves a good run. Let's see. We talked about the women, Gunther. We talked about Sammy and Kevin and Roman and Solo. We're a little torn on that one. What about Brock versus Cody? Like, what's happening there?
Well,
I don't know.
That's a really weird
something. I think that little spiel at the end with Triple H has got me. Something's up.
Same. So maybe you and I are on the same path, because I said this to Ronnie when I was watching it, and Triple H sitting with Cody. Are they going to set up a Triple H versus Cody? Because Triple H is the new Vince. Is Cody the new Stone Cold at one point? And do they do that kind of thing?
Because they might do it that way. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, well, because let me just say, because when Cody went to AEW, like one of the very first things he did was destroy the Triple H throne.
Ooh,
so could that be a thing that they go to? I'd watch it.
I think see why not. Yeah.
Yes, they could do that, but let's not forget Triple H is never working again with his condition.
Right.
So it's not. He's not going to get in the ring. But like you said,
but he could do like the Vince did. Yeah.
He could still be the boss.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
the authority holding him down.
The antagonizer.
Right.
The guy that makes you root for Cody because he's keeping you down.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate, fighting from underneath, because that's the boss. So, obviously going against the boss worked great for Stone Cold. So
yeah, it did.
It could be good. But who do we see walking out of this Cody versus Brock?
Well, it depends. If he shows up with a broken arm, that would be absurd. If he won.
Yeah, well, and you heard Triple H. He's like, I could tell by looking at it right now, it's broken. So they're going to say it's broken.
Yeah.
So does Cody win with a broken arm?
No, he doesn't. Brock he gets his ass kicked again and comes back again.
Brock doesn't lose twice in a row like that.
No, I can't. And if he does, then they're really, really trying to put Cody over. But now is it almost unbelievable at that point? Because now he shouldn't be able to be beaten at all.
Yeah.
There's going to be some storyline factors that are going to equate into this to keep everybody hot on Cody. Because you can't just bury him either. But you can't put him over because it's unbelievable. People are like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get behind this. They're obviously just pushing him like Superman, Cena at one point, which he well deserved.
Yeah, it's obviously Brock Lesnar can beat up most people that are 100% healthy.
Yeah.
So losing to a guy with a broken arm wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
I've had 6 to 10 matches with Brock Lesnar in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was 6 or 10, and I don't remember probably most of them. But
got your ass beat so bad?
And in the back, he used to stretch me as a joke, like I was his little brother in the back, and I would yell for Danny. Danny!
Oh
I would say, Danny!
Oh,
Brock
God.
is
and he's laughing.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, he's going to break my arm, and he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
No,
You just get your
especially
arm
at that
broken.
time when you were doing that, like Brock was like he was a stud. Not that he's not now, but there was
Yes.
We were the same age.
there is a big difference in
a
20-year-old
23-year-old Johnny Spade who is way tinier, and a 23-year-old Brock Lesnar, phenom NCAA wrestler, who's just alpha male, immature alpha male, and
Big
thinks it's
tattoo
funny
on his chest.
to bully you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the locker room with Brock Lesnar. That's for sure. So I think with this match, I personally think that Brock's just going to lose his mind, to get disqualified, but just pummel Cody, just beat him. No winner, no loser, whatever, and they just beat the crap out of each other.
He can throw caution to the wind to the disqualification. I can see that too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and so there's also rumors that Randy Orton might come back. I don't think it's with that match per se. It could be more with like the Roman match or something. But
I don't know, man. I've heard he's got some pretty major back issues right now.
Well, they definitely said that he shouldn't come back, but you know how a lot of them are, so he might. But there's rumors that he comes back, and so who does Randy look good against? And I wouldn't put him against Brock Lesnar, that's for sure. Is he somebody for Cody, or is he and Matt Riddle get back together?
He needs to get back together with Matt Riddle. Come on.
Yeah, the RK Bro.
Work smarter, not harder.
I guess it's not big on me, but it seems to be the popular thing. So I can see.
I like the RK Bro.
It's fun.
Well, I think what I liked about it, what I liked about the RK Bro was that Randy actually looked like he was having fun for the first time in quite a while. And you could see it. And that I think that made a big difference in Randy's performance in the ring. He's always been good, but yeah, he was just looked like he was having fun. So,
and they also could do it because he's coming back from injury, and it's easier to work tag.
I was gonna say less workload on him.
Correct.
Yeah, definitely put him back in a tag team, and I hope he comes back. I hope it's not. Get somebody like a Brock Lesnar or anything like that.
No, just come back and get back together.
Yeah, I see that. So then we have, and so the reason I brought Randy up is because now we're at the what should be the main event, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship, the new title. I think we all agree. We've all talked about this on the last one that we see Seth Rollins walking out with that title.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's in that movie though, and that's throwing me off a little bit.
Who's in what movie?
So that's where Seth Rollins been the last 2 weeks. That's why they're doing
another Marine
interviews
movie
backstage. He's filming that Captain America, that new Captain America movie that's going to be coming out next year.
Oh, is he in it?
Yeah, he's in that movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's filming it right now.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, he'll be there tomorrow, obviously. But that's where he's been the last couple of weeks. So I don't know if. I don't know how long that is, or if he's done now, because they usually don't wrestle if they're shooting, because if you get hurt, you got a whole production and a lot of people are out of work for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he might be done with his scenes,
It's I would say, because I just don't see anybody else walking away with the title.
No.
And like we said before, it's not that AJ couldn't, and it wouldn't be a
I mean,
good,
that would be cool, yeah.
But like it's got to be Seth's. Like I just can't see anybody else. Like Seth is obviously pretty much the most over guy in wrestling. So we're all in agreement that Seth walks away with the title.
I would say so. Yes, still. So I would say so, but it just depends on the backstage issues. But I think if he's coming back to wrestle, he's good to go.
Yeah. So they also little spots here and there. They keep talking about Seth and Roman, and that their history. Are they setting something up there? It definitely seems like they are to me.
I don't think they're going to unite the titles. That's what that's the reason Roman's got the unified titles as is. So to just break it up and make a new title, you're not going to just reunite them and take away from the whole reason that you put another title out there.
But why do they keep mentioning it though? Like, why is it
to keep him on the same level so he's not a paper champion?
Yeah, but I think we all know that Seth is on the same level. I
think so too. I think they're just trying to make it just to let you know type deal. Now I could be wrong.
I think they're building something up in the future. Now that doesn't mean that there's going to be Seth's going to have the title at that point. One, I don't see anybody else taking the titles off of Roman except Cody. That's the only person that should be taking the titles off of Roman. Because that's what should have happened. Quote unquote. I should say should have happened because I think I've really enjoyed the storylines after WrestleMania, but him not getting the titles from Roman then just completely. What's the reason for Cody to come back then?
There isn't a reason. He has to get it eventually.
Yeah, I agree. It has to be Cody.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. So, like, who does Seth fight? If Seth, or we'll say Seth or AJ, whoever wins the title. What's the run there? Who's the first opponent? Is it somebody like a Randy Orton or?
Let's act like Randy's not back yet because we don't know. But
right.
If he's there, obviously that'd be a good choice. But you're talking about he's going to have a long reign, so
yeah,
I think he's just going to have good matches. They're going to find out what works, who's getting popular, put them with them, and I don't know who that is yet. I mean, there's a lot of people on that roster. That Raw roster is pretty deep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to think of who, because like we talked about before, I don't think it should be Cody.
No.
Cody should have other things going on.
One of the Judgment Day members?
Could be.
That would be. I'd be into that.
The only thing to me is the past with, I talked about this before, with Cody and Seth. And, Cody always having Seth's number. They had that feud. Obviously, Cody beat him in the Hell in a Cell with a torn pec.
Right.
So there's a good story there that's already there.
Yeah. If he's going to be, I think that could be a story down the road. I don't think it's going to be immediate with everything going on with Cody right now, and possibly what you mentioned. And I was staying over that Triple H incident. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. I'm curious on what happens, because this is really the big reset now. So everybody's been, drafted. WrestleMania is over. The backlash of WrestleMania, that's over. So this is, that first fresh pay-per-view that really resets everything. And now we've got the, future storylines and this.
I'm excited to see who it's going to be.
Yeah, this should really start everything. Be it who Rhea faces, because now we're moving into Money in the Bank stuff. Who Seth or AJ faces, all that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So
a lot of potential.
It's interesting because it's also a new creative. I mean, we're all excited about this. Triple H is running creative, and we don't know what route he wants to go. He didn't take over. He took over after Money in the Bank last year. Definitely wouldn't have been Austin Theory.
Yeah. I don't know, but there's a lot of fresh storylines available. So we'll see what happens. But I think we ran down our list of things to talk about. Do you all have anything else you want to throw in there? Or
no, unless there's any questions for anybody. Also, if you're a fan of AEW and you want us to go over it a little bit, that's up to you guys. I do watch it. It's going to be a great pay-per-view tomorrow night as well. I know it's leading up to the big pay-per-view, I think, coming up soon in the new show. So I'm excited about that. We've been running down WWE mostly. And Jason does a great job with notes, and it's been a great start. So we're just getting into this, but we'll kind of grow as we go. But I'm looking forward to both, and I am going to be watching and looking forward to watching both pay-per-views. They're both companies, I take it. And so if there's any questions for anybody, feel free to throw it out there. You don't have to just ask us questions about WWE. I'll try to give you whatever answer I can.
Yeah, I'm definitely, because I watch AEW too. Right. I haven't watched it recently. I need to catch up on it a little bit.
I will watch it.
to see what's going on. I really enjoy, all the matches. Sometimes the stories are a little disconnected to me, but
sure.
Maybe they'll work on that. So what is the big pay-per-view stuff on this one coming up? Of course, it's the Double or Nothing. So they've got the Rumble that they do, the 2021 entrance, right?
Yeah, but they're doing. It's kind of a Rumble. It's like a 20-man for the international title with Orange Cassidy, who's got the belt.
Yeah.
They got the BCC, the Blackpool Combat Club. They're going to be working. Who was the Elite, and it's in that kind of a.
Hangman Page just joined up with them too, right?
Yeah, it's one of those no holds barred everything and anything type deals that they were doing, where it's faction versus faction. And then they got the 4 pillars, the 4 guys that were started and originated from AEW.
That's MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. And,
correct. Those are
Jungle
the main matches, I believe. Yeah. And then they had Sabu come back as an enforcer.
Adam Cole.
Yeah, something with Jericho and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Which should be great, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to take in there as well.
It definitely should be a fun watch. And, with WWE, with the Night of Champions in Jeddah coming on at 1 in the afternoon.
I know.
You're going to have time to watch them both.
Right?
So that's actually pretty good timing.
Yeah.
It's a full day of wrestling. Plus, you've got the NXT Battleground.
For sure. It's a big weekend, a long weekend. A lot to talk about next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a lot of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, some new storylines started at that point, and we'll see how it goes. Ronnie, you have any last words?
Rhea Ripley forever.
Nice.
That's fair enough. All right. Well, then I guess that is your episode of Heat Magnets. That's episode number 2. And we'll come back to you next week after the Night of Champions and Double or Nothing and Battleground, and we'll have a little bit more to talk about. So, yeah. Hey, everybody want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching, and
take care.
We'll see you next episode.